Truth is, almost everyone uses headphones, but the other truth is not all headphones are made for everyone. Introducing JLab, headphones as versatile as you are. JLab's diverse collection of headphones has something for everyone in every moment. For travel, you can use Epic Lux ANC over-ear headphones. For the smallest fit ever, check out the JBuds Mini. JLab has so many versions of headphones for all the different versions of, well, you. Look for the blue box at retailers everywhere or shop jlab.com and use code Iliza for 15% off your order today. I am surrounded by food all the time because I'm married to a chef. And I can tell you that when I need some comfort, I want my food to not only be quick, but I want it to be cozy. And that's why I'm telling you about Half-Baked Harvest Quick and Cozy. It's the latest New York Times bestselling cookbook from Tegan Gerard. This book has over 120 recipes for delicious, warming comfort food like maple bacon pancakes, garlic butter steak bites, sheet pan mac and cheese. It's the perfect gift for you if you're a cozy girl like me, and it's the perfect gift for Mother's Day. Half-Baked Harvest Quick and Cozy is for you. Available wherever books are sold.
Lemonada.
Ask me, ask Iliza anything. It's time to ask. Ask me all your questions. Leave them in the Instagram comment section. Leave them on your Twitter or leave them on your Facebook. We'll see them, we'll read them, then we'll give you answers. You know it, I've got it. I've got the answer, you ask me. I'll tell you anything.
I have eaten between yesterday and today 15 caramels.
What do you when you say caramel? We talking
Caramel.
the cowtail? Or are we talking?
We're talking bonbon. We're talking a nice box that came in a promo box for a TV show. And when they send you the offer, they're like, it comes with X, Y, and Z and a caramel. I was like, absolutely. And they were sea salted, the only way to go, which does feel like it wasn't a thing as much growing up. And then one day some millennial was like, what if we do sea salt like old timey people used to? And now everything is sea salt. I don't think you can get a caramel that isn't sea salted.
It's very like rich fancy. It's like, oh, we're at a fancy restaurant, so the chocolate has a little bit of salt on it because we want you to not like it just a little bit.
I want you to be a little miserable, a little bit of fleur de sel. It's so good that I have to eat 6 in a row because it gets your salt juices going.
Ew. No.
It's so good. I shared it with the cleaning lady because I was like, if other people eat them, then I won't eat them.
Are there any left?
Nope. Nope. I ate the entire box. I think there were 20 in there. I ate the whole thing.
A friend sent me a box of C's candy and I really savored it. I'd be like, one a night. I felt like Miss Honey in Matilda, Trunchbull takes her dad's little box of chocolate. And I'm like, having my one little chocolate.
I like that you feel like Miss Honey.
And not Miss Trunchbull.
The Trunchbull is an icon. An icon, a queer icon, a gender neutral icon, a butch femme icon.
Miss Honey's like a queer icon, right?
I think queers are like, we'll take it. That'll be ours. And you can't argue because that makes you a homophobe.
They're just like, yeah, she's a pretty maternal lady. So it's like,
I want one. Now.
I got my face lasered today. It's
How'd
called
that
IPL.
feel?
It's called IPL. It felt numb because they numb your face for an hour, which I totally misread as 30 minutes. And you're just like in this room, like kind of getting tired. And your face is kind of numb and it feels kind of weird.
Wait, for an hour before they even start the procedure?
That's right. It's got me real numb. And they numb it because it's a laser on your face, like a real laser that you can see through your blindfold. And it's hot. But the truth is, I'm like, I've had 2 children, like all pain quasi pales in comparison. And so what it is that it like basically burns off a layer of your skin, which is great because it brings up all of your sun. Like I have a freckle and I'm like, I don't know how. Like I wear sunscreen. I don't go out in the sun. She's like, it's from growing up. Like it basically burns off all of your skin and sun damage. And it kind of reveals your skin to be like bright and clear and great. I didn't want to do any needles or anything subdermal or any injections. And I was thinking about it. I was like, we didn't record this episode today because it's fine. Like I don't look horrible, but I just didn't feel like
we
doing
didn't
it.
record the video of this episode.
That's what I meant to say.
I was really like melting down mentally, like, we didn't record this episode. Wait,
yeah, this is the
but
future.
We're
We
here.
never recorded.
Right.
Sorry, the laser took off some of my brain. And I was thinking about it though. I was like, I guess not telling people that you've had work done. I guess it's no one's business, but there's also the thing of like propagating the idea that like, I naturally look like this, like gaslighting other women. Like you don't, well, but secretly you're getting work done. But I guess part of the reason people don't say they got work done is because we all want to look like we naturally don't age or naturally have superior genetics. And I think that that's the name of the game, is trying to pretend that you have naturally superior genetics.
And you already think that you do because you have blue eyes and blonde hair.
No, that's Hitler's line of thinking. That's not me.
That's not
I
you.
think
You're always
I
talking
don't
about
have-
blonde is better.
No, as a joke, not as like a racist thing. As a
Oh,
like,
I'm sorry. Okay, yes, I didn't mean. I wasn't setting you up as an Aryan. I was setting you up
sound
as a blonde woman.
The joke is that at some point in a lot of women's lives, like you go blonde, you know, because blonde is fun and movies have established it as like the blonde one's the hot one and it's super fun. And it's funny for me to make fun of brunettes, even though deep down secretly my hair is now, we'll still call it a dark blonde. We're not going to call it light brown.
Dark blonde.
But
Yeah.
I do think, you know, animals naturally, you can tell which ones are big, which ones have claws. Like animals can't really pretend. And please don't cite some weird tropical bird that like pretends to wear a flower as a hat to simulate other feathers. But humans, we definitely, you want it to always look like it was always there.
Right.
That's the game. Tricking you into thinking these are my genetics.
Yeah, like a no makeup.
Yeah, tricking you into thinking at 42 that somehow now I look 33.
Well, speaking of youth, I saw you on Patreon wanting to give a talking to a baby.
I see
So,
that, baby.
so we have a baby that we had a cob, and we're gonna start with it so you can fight this baby. Okay.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. Somebody reached out and said, bottom of the cob, I don't think I can listen to the pod anymore. Well, not with my 18-month-old daughter anyway. She screams and cries when the pod is on. Not just you, Iliza. The girl doesn't want to be left out of any conversation. That combined with the fact that she's picking up words at an astounding rate and there's cursing means I'll have to find a different time to listen rather than in the car to and from our mommy and me class Wednesday morning. Thank goodness for naps. And you said, give us her name and we'll give her a talking to on the pod. And this baby's name is Alexandra. What do you want to say to this baby?
Hey, Alexandra, it's me coming from inside the phone.
Oh, no.
It's me coming from inside the car. It's your Auntie Iliza and Emily and your non-gendered relative, Emily. Do you want to be an auntie?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're
okay.
one,
I didn't
I
know.
want to be one
I didn't want to assume.
because I wear a hat. That happened to me as a baby. I was a bald baby in a little hat to protect me from the sun. And everybody's like, what a cute boy.
You hear that, Alexandra? She was a bald baby. Alexandra, we're talking to you. I'm going to teach you some new words.
No.
Okay. Okay. Well, then how about the word gourd? Do you like a gourd, Alexandra? How about rumplemints? You know what that is? How about the word peppermint? How about hot soup, Alexandra? All right. So you keep on listening. We're going to keep teaching you words. Okay. Baba Ganoush.
Oh, Alexandra's set for life now. What a vocabulary.
Now go to bed.
Yeah,
Go to bed.
Nap
Goodbye.
time. Mommy needs to listen to our podcast. Okay.
Needs it. There we go.
Now we can do a serious
trying to-
question.
Lose a listener over some baby.
Now we will talk to your babies.
I've already lost too much.
Dear AIA crew, have either of you had a close friend or family member join a cult? I may have lost my close friend of 10 years to a cult. A few details. The followers of this cult worship a leader who has had multiple serious sexual allegations against him.
Oh, that's so weird. That never happens. That's usually such a good guy.
Shocking. He was the subject of an investigative journalism documentary by a very reputable European news organization. While the leader is no longer alive, the worship continues.
The worship continues.
I don't know who's in charge now. Somehow on a trip overseas, my friend, 40 female, was recruited into this, quote, organization. She suddenly started traveling more and saying she was working for them. She even changed her diet per the rules that I read online when I began researching all this.
Is it eating 15 caramels in a day?
That's your cult.
That's my cult.
There are plenty of defectors who've spoken out online about leaving what they now recognize was a cult. Most recently, my friend left overseas again, this time for almost 5 months. She has school-aged children that she left behind. When she returned, she filed for divorce from her husband and told her children if they have any complaints about her travels and do not support her, she will leave for good. And she meant it as she shared her already thought through plans as to where she would live overseas and her reasons for choosing said location. Her husband and her in-laws think she's gone crazy. I don't think her family knows what's going on because they live in another country and don't really see each other. All this is so out of character from the friend I knew. What would you do? Now, okay, we can't reveal. Well, Iliza, I can tell you what it is, but we're not revealing it on the pod. I'm pulling up. She sent me like a link where the followers are now worshiping a child. And I'm trying to figure out what.
Why can't we share this?
Because I think it.
What is that? We're going to, hold on. Let's keep all this, Scott, by the way. Why can't we share this? We're afraid we're going to give the cult a bad name.
No, we're afraid the friend will know that we're talking about her.
So the friend, let me get this straight. The friend has left the country and joined a cult, but she still listens to Ask Iliza Anything?
Well.
That's incredible. You know what kind of retention that is? People would pay for that. And I hope she does hear me.
I actually can't figure out what the name of this cult is, so.
Okay, cool.
It's a cult. I mean, there are so many of them. It really doesn't matter. But all right, Iliza, what do you do if your friend's at a cult?
I think it's kind of like being an alcoholic or a drug addict. Like, I think you have to cut ties with this person because you don't mean anything to this person if they're willing to basically cut ties with their own children and their husband. You're just kind of watching this car crash. So, I mean, short of like going there, the husband should have been the one to have done something. I think you just got to kiss this friend goodbye. You can tell her exactly how you feel. You can write it all down. Obviously, she's brainwashed. Are you close enough with her to get a hold of the parents?
They're in another country, so I feel like probably no.
Oh, there's no internet?
I mean, I feel like she's never met her friend's parents if they're in another country.
That's why I'm asking. Is there a way to contact them? I mean, really, the onus should be on the husband. I understand you're missing your friend and this is awful and you can try, but all you can do is try to talk sense into her. Do you want to fly over there? These people, it happens to women, I think, more than men. And it's this weird thing of self-worth and having someone give you that self-worth and you found your community. I mean, this woman is willing to leave her children. So she is gone.
Yeah.
I would, if you care about her, maybe try to be there for the kids. Hopefully this woman comes to her senses one day and then has to like atone with like weird court supervised visits. But there's nothing you can do other than just mourn the loss of that friendship. And I mean, definitely tell her how you feel if she even is allowed to have phone time on her floor in between shifts of polishing crystals or whatever.
Yeah. If her kids and husband aren't enough to make her stay, you're not.
That's it. That's it. Don't waste your time. She's gone. She's gone.
I don't think there's anything to do here.
Yeah. I mean, did she break a law? Is she in danger of being in harm other than some like weird sex act? You can't call the cops because she's probably living in another country. Can you stop by her house and face to face tell her how you're feeling? But like, again, she's willing to do all of that. She's definitely not going to listen to you. And you would do well not to spend your time thinking about it because she is not thinking about you. But, you know, take her phone call when she calls you from an Andorran jail.
Petty.
I haven't said that in a while. Felt good. Felt right.
Yeah, you were saying it and then you were kind of like, I'm going to say something new. And then you would say new words and you ditched it entirely, which is
Rutabaga. You hear that, Alexandra? Rutabaga.
She's learning so many words.
So the big open secret about going out to eat is that it's not that great for you and it's very expensive. And cooking at home, oftentimes you don't know what you're doing. You make the same thing over and over again. You spend a lot on ingredients and a lot of it goes to waste. Well, with every plate, you can spend less on flavor-packed homemade meals than you would on normal groceries or at a restaurant. Thanks to every plate's consistently rotating weekly recipes delivered right to your door, you'll always have the best answer to what's for dinner or what's for lunch or what's left over for a snack. They have everything for every dietary restriction, every plan. You're a vegetarian, you're wanting protein, you're wanting healthy, or you want an indulgence. I love their Cuban-style black beans and rice bowls. I like to pack it up in a few tortillas, and I even take it on the plane with me. And they have tasty, snackable things like Southwest Rajas quesadillas or something healthier like sweet potato, broccoli, and black bean stew. Every plate has every dish for every palate and beyond. So what are you waiting for? Dig into these flavor-packed meals your household will love. New customers can enjoy this special offer of only $1.99 a meal. Go to everyplate.com/podcast and use code ELIZA199 to get started. Applied as discount on first box, limited time only. This episode is sponsored by FX's Dying for Sex, starring Michelle Williams and Jenny Slate. Inspired by a true story, this series follows Molly, who after receiving a terminal cancer diagnosis, decides to leave her husband to explore the full breadth of her sexual desires. She gets the courage and support to go on this sex quest from her best friend Nikki, who stays by her side through it all. FX's Dying for Sex. All episodes now streaming on Hulu.
Petty Pilates. Hi, Iliza, Emily, and the gang. I have a low-stakes question that I would like your input on. I've been a subscriber to a Pilates app run by a woman I have admired for a while. It's not exactly cheap. I could probably find similar videos for free on YouTube, but I like her content. She seems really nice, so I've enjoyed supporting her and being part of her community. She recently got married. I'm a cabin manager at an airline, and her new husband was on my flight the other day. I recognized his name from her posts, and he's also a successful entrepreneur. He's one of our top-tier frequent flyers, and as part of the service, the manager is supposed to greet them and welcome them back on board when they fly.
It's a private jet. It's a private jet service. Just like it.
The thing is, he was kind of rude. He point-blank ignored me on the 2 occasions I tried to interact with him. Firstly, when I was doing my introductions, and again when I went to ask if he wanted something to drink. Fair enough, he didn't want to drink, but usually customers will look up from their iPad and say, no, thank you, whereas he didn't look up or even take his headphones out. He wasn't working.
He didn't hear you. He didn't hear you.
Yeah.
He didn't hear you.
He wasn't working. He was watching Netflix. I've never had this happen. And I do multiple introductions on all my flights, including with several A-list celebrities who, even when they don't want anything, give me the time of day. I'm not expecting a full-on conversation, but just an acknowledgement would be appreciated. My question is, should I cancel my subscription to his wife's Pilates app out of sheer pettiness? Surely someone with a decent character wouldn't marry a person who was rude to service workers. I know Eliza's always saying vote with your dollar, and I know you're a frequent flyer too, so would love to know your opinion. Am I being overly sensitive because I have a parasocial relationship with my online Pilates teacher? Thanks for your sage advice. And if you can recommend any other online Pilates platforms, please do. LOL. Sincerely, Anonymous.
Anonymous, you nailed it. You are being overly sensitive because of a parasocial relationship with your online Pilates instructor, and you feel that you have that connection, therefore you feel entitled to a specific type of interaction. If he had headphones in, you cannot rule out that that person was just locked in. We all get locked into our content, our TVs, our screens. There's a chance he didn't see you. And I will tell you on the other side, I have boarded so many flights where I have gone out of my way to say hello to the cabin crew, and they have said nothing. So much so that sometimes I get nervous about it because I'm like, oh, I think they already hate me. And I will tell you, he's not a celebrity. Celebrities have to pretend to like and interact with everyone. I am not immune to this. Otherwise, people will say, oh, I met them. They were awful. So you're not allowed to have a bad day. This guy's not a celebrity. He just happens to be married to someone who has a public profile. No.
He has 300,000 Instagram followers.
That's honestly
Is
nothing.
that not anything? Okay.
He's not a celebrity. Just because you have some note doesn't mean you're a star or a celebrity, you know? And so if you enjoy the Pilates, you're just going to kind of be shooting yourself in the foot.
I think you just don't want to subscribe to this app anymore and you're fine to cancel it. This doesn't have to be the reason.
Well, did she say that?
She basically said like, oh, it's too expensive. It's not giving me anything I don't get anywhere else, but I like this lady's nice and I want to support her.
Let me say this. By the way, he may not be an asshole. Like no one walks around perfect and congenial all the time. especially on a flight. Like I pour myself into that seat. I put my eye shades down. I don't talk to anyone because I'm going to sleep. Especially what it sounds like is that you manage some sort of private flying situation, especially at that price point. No, you do not have to interact with anyone. And he was not rude. He just didn't notice you, which is a shitty feeling and it invalidates you as a person. But it wasn't as if he got on and was deliberately rude to you, or you asked him to take his headphones off and he didn't. He was just kind of in his own world, and you were hoping to have a connection with him so you could have a connection with the Pilates instructor. If you don't want to be on that anymore, then you can chalk it up to pettiness, and that can be part of the reason if you don't want it. But also, not supporting her because of that. Like, we do a lot of things and we follow a lot of people and pay into systems because we like the spokesperson. We like the celebrity on that show. Like, you find someone to connect with. So if you feel a connection with her and you like her, don't let this random interaction with the husband deter you, because you would really hate it if your back was turned as I was getting on a plane and I said good morning and you didn't hear me. And then I wrote into your boss being like, the cabin crew was really unfriendly. That's all. And I appreciate that it's never happened to you before. But I think if you really think back, there may have been a time someone didn't hear you or they didn't say good morning back. We're all just trying to get where we got to go. And considering how unhinged most people who fly are, I don't know that someone just sort of not hearing you and not looking up. And also someone who flies a lot, like I never watch the safety briefings. I might if I like got a water from you before and we've made a connection. I try to be nice, but like, you're tired. I want to get on the plane. I want to go.
Right.
I acknowledge I could open the door in the event of an emergency. Put my training envelope. I just think it's, you don't want to be the creepy fan.
Mm.
As someone who has in my life gotten the feedback of like, she was rude. And I'm like, I don't even remember meeting that person. You know? So if he does it again, then it's a problem. Then it's you. Also, let's say the guy is a dick. That girl's going to need even more support because she's probably stuck married to a dick. Don't you feel bad for her? I don't think that's what's happening.
Hey, AA Pod Squad. It's my first time writing in. And I would like your opinion on a certain strange and entertaining situation. My boyfriend, 35, and I, 32, have been together for 8 years, civil union style. We own an apartment together we bought in 2021. We live in his home country in Europe. I am from Texas.
Won't anyone give us the country names? It's the second one, or I'm just floating on a map.
We know Texas. Safe to say, we're building/have built a life together.
But it's Spain.
Before meeting, both of us were single for about a year each, dating around, nothing serious. Before that, each of us were in short-term relationships that lasted a year, give or take. Early in our relationship, I was his date to his friend's wedding in 2019. These friends were mutual friends with his previous ex-girlfriend before me, from before his year of singledom. She was at the wedding too with her own date. She and his friends are all from his country. At that wedding, maybe 2 years after they'd broken up, I actually ran into her going to the bathroom. Neither of us really said anything beyond, excuse me. My boyfriend and her didn't say anything beyond, hey, how's this going? He and I spent the night dancing and having fun.
Or so you think. Sneaky language.
The reason my BF broke up with her was because she treated him poorly and was unstable. Think high highs and low lows. He told her at the end that he couldn't help her any more than what he had, and he actually recommended she get professional help, which the mutual friends later confirmed with him that she did. He also always told me things ended as amicably as they could have, and he really thought she needed professional help. He also mentioned while they were dating, she always told him she really wanted to have children in what to me sounded like a baby fever type of way. He and I don't have children and no immediate plans to. Not long after the wedding, maybe a year or so, it's a long time, she texted him out of the blue, telling him she'd thought about their relationship, wanted to tell him she thought he was a good person and wanted to be friends, something along those lines. At this point, she was already in another relationship with her date at the wedding and was either pregnant or had already had her first baby. Now, I'm the type of girlfriend that when my exes broke up with me, two exes, I went cold turkey, no contact ever again. So for me, I find it strange when I hear about people reaching out years after the relationship ended, especially when they were never friends first and it was always romantic from the start. Found it even odder that she'd reach out when she was already in another relationship planning a family. I told this to my boyfriend. He agreed, but he's also a kind person and wouldn't leave her on red. OFC, my spidey senses went off. So I told him, if you answer her, you might be opening the door to something you can't easily shut out again. And if the role, like the Babadook, if the roles are reversed, you'd probably not want me to answer any of my exes. He replied to her along the lines of, I don't have any issues with you. You don't have to worry, etc. Convo ended there. Fast forward to this month. She texted him out of the blue again. Okay, wait, I'm trying to figure out. That was a year after. So it's been a couple years since they've talked.
So, okay, I just want to nail down this timeline. 2019, she and her boyfriend go to the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
And
a year later.
A year after that, so in 2020, this girl is like, hey, I'm pregnant. I'm having a baby. I already have a baby. And I think you're a good person. I want to be friends.
Yeah.
So that's 2020.
So now this month.
And then nothing. And they haven't been communicating. He's just like, cool. Sounds great.
As far as we know. Yeah.
Okay. And now this month in 2025, so 4 to 5 years later.
Yeah. She texts him out of the blue again. This time to ask him about all the places they went to in France on one of their vacations more than 10 years ago. When he told me about the text, he still hadn't responded. I told him basically the same thing as before. It's odd. What's she going to do? Recreate their romantic trip to southern France with her current partner, her family? As a woman who's humbly been broken up with, I'd never, especially if I knew the guy had moved on and I saw he was happy with another woman, reach out. She is also on kid number 2. So my boyfriend just responded with a list of places they went. And she responded almost immediately, asking if he knew the exact distances between each city. Maybe she thinks she's talking to ChatGPT or something. I told him, I think she's still, I know. I think she's, and just, you're not getting this, but there's little emojis throughout. So there's a little robot emoji after that.
Just in case you don't know what ChatGPT is, it's not a human.
I told him I think she still loves him or she's not over him in some way, because why else would an adult woman with 2 children reach out to an ex after almost 10 years to ask about a romantic French vacation they shared that she could easily find herself by going through her own photos and with internet access?
Because the baby is his. Because they conceived it that night at the wedding. The baby is his. That's why a year later she reached out. The baby is his.
I honestly think she sees him as the one that got away, as cliche as that sounds, and is trying to find a way to talk to him or stay connected. He doesn't agree, but he also gives the benefit of the doubt to a lot of people. He's a good man. Sure, the messages are harmless, but my intuition tells me something else is up. It doesn't feel genuine. As Tianfu says, stay suspicious, and I do, and I am. Also, it's annoying because she's placing a mental load on my boyfriend that he definitely doesn't need. So my question is, are we doomed to receive a message every few years from this lady for the rest of our lives? Like, we'll all be in our 70s and she'll still be sending us texts? What do y'all think? Or is this a case for the X-Files? EX, unexplained and mysterious.
First of all.
Wait.
Okay.
Thanks for everything, Iliza and Emily and crew. Pod helped me get through each week. Iliza, I thought the special was fantastic. Appreciate all y'all do. Hugs. P.S. Emily, I like hearing about your cats. Okay, proceed.
First of all, let's remove the idea of like too much of a mental load from my boyfriend. He's a grown man and he's engaging. Okay. Also, why do you still have this person's number? I guess I do have ex-boyfriends' numbers because it feels harsh to block someone you don't hate.
I've never deleted a number from my phone. What if they try to text me? I want to know who it is.
Here's what it is. This person is mentally unstable, which is fine. You can get treatment for that. And I don't know if it's compounded by, but she's also a mother who's had 2 children. And this is her kind of a little bored. Kind of like, am I still sexy? Oh, maybe I passed a place and it smelled like cologne and that reminded me of Raul, whatever your boyfriend's name is from His Secret Country. So she's reaching out to kind of be like, hey, this guy will still engage with me. Like, remember, like way back when I was whatever. She's looking for the attention. And because they broke up amicably, he's just like, yeah, here it is. Like, no big deal. But it's bothering you because you guys aren't cool. It wasn't cool. You're not friends. It's all these years later. It would be different if she reached out now and she was like, hey, I haven't talked to you. My husband and I are going to France. What was that vineyard? Because we really want to go. I wouldn't be too worried about it because there's so much time in between these reach outs, but it does just sound to me like a mom who's just like seeing if there's like a little bit of excitement still out there. Where you go from here, and even if she did every 5 years, I kind of wouldn't care. Like, it's whatever. And you're saying like, hey, he's with me, whatever. You should not feel threatened by a married mother of 2 with a chemical imbalance reaching out with the lamest excuse.
Yeah, everything you're saying does not indicate that your boyfriend is secretly talking to her. It's like he texts her every few years. He doesn't want to be rude. He like replies something vague. I don't. This is not a red flag to me. I think it's putting a mental load on you clearly, but that's not her fault.
I would be lying if I said I didn't get texts from ex-boyfriends every once a year, and it is the most harmless. Even if I'm the one that broke up with them, I never feel the need. I mean, I'll say it on a podcast, but I never feel the need to say to my husband Mike reached out and he wanted to know if I saw this movie, because I'm not in the market for a side piece. And so
you don't have time for a side piece, to be quite honest.
I don't, unless they want to go pick up my laundry. I really remember that movie Exit to Eden with Rosie O'Donnell, and it was a sex movie on a hedonist island. And the guy was like, well, I want to fulfill your fantasy. She's like, yeah, go paint my house.
I've never seen it, but I remember the box art.
Yeah, her in that S&M.
You love a Rosie O'Donnell movie.
I met her. She was at the comedy store a few months ago. I met her.
Before she moved to Ireland, I love her. I have a Rosie doll.
I buy that. I buy it. Anyways, this is taking up way too much. I know it's not sitting right with you because her reasonings feel weird, but I really, given the infrequency of it, and as long as he is being honest with you, and it really is once every 5 years, literally don't think about it ever again. Who fucking cares?
Doesn't matter. Does not.
Even if he's still it's fine. You got him. He's with you. What you want to do is check that text to make sure it's not really every 5 years. How do you know he's telling love or dad? How do you know? You don't know. No conoces. No sabes. I'm not positive which one to use. Okay. He also is definitely not Spanish.
No. Maybe.
I feel like people say Spain. It's he lives in Luxembourg.
Right. Okay, we have a confession. And this is one where I'm like, ooh, but Eliza, I feel like you're not going to react to it at all. But let's see. Try to mix it up. We like different types of confessions. To preface this by saying I was only 18 at the time this happened. It was my second day in a new job. I'm in the UK, but I think the US equivalent is GameStop. Yes, that is a store here. I was being trained on the tills.
Place of worship. Emily's house of worship.
I was being trained on the tills and I was serving a woman, but I made a minor mistake. I think I didn't scan her rewards card or something. Really tiny error and easily fixed. The customer gave me the biggest bollocking of my life and didn't care when I apologized profusely and explained it was my second day and I was still learning. Anyway, I needed to go to the storeroom to collect her Wii Fit board, a testament to the time. Do you remember what that is, Eliza?
Yeah, but because they're British, it definitely sounds like they're saying their small fit board. They're Wii Fit.
Right.
Okay.
So when to get the Wii Fit board, the storeroom was located up 2 flights of stairs. I chucked that Wii Fit board down both flights of stairs and then not satisfied, ran back up the stairs and did it again. 18-year-old me really hoped that woman would open the board later on that day to find it didn't work. Do I regret it? Kind of, but it doesn't take much to be a kind and understanding person, especially over a minor error that was easily fixed.
Over a minor error, like not hearing someone with headphones on.
The thought that when you're 18, you're just like, I'll just break this. Great. There's something so funny about at the top of the stairs taking probably a $200 piece of merchandise and just chucking it and then selling it to the lady with a smile on your face.
Because really, it's not like she's going to have to pay to get it fixed. It's just going to be an inconvenience because she's going to have to bring it back. Yeah. If these were handcrafted, it would be different, but it's a mega company. And
right.
I think I would do that at any age, to be honest. So
chuck something down the stairs.
I've chucked.
All right. Even though it's only April, let's do a Mother's Day quandary. Help out those moms.
Let's do it because you got to get ready.
Got to get ready because we're going to get a lot of this question. So let's address it here. Hi, Eliza and Emily. I have a pretty simple question for you. Am I being a bitch if I don't want to spend Mother's Day with my mother-in-law? Context. Ooh. Me and my husband have been married for 5 years. He is the oldest of 2.
Sorry. This is so juicy. This is what our podcast is about, is these kind of questions. So let's settle in, so cozy, get a snack, get a cup of hot cocoa, light a fire.
I mean, we've had questions in a similar vein of you celebrate the kids, but the specificity of this one. So me and my husband have been married 5 years. He's the oldest of 2. His sister still lives at home. He is close with his family.
Me and my husband have been married 5 years. He is the eldest son. There's 2 kids. The sister still lives at home.
Yeah. They're all very close.
And you guys are in your 50s.
They don't say their age.
No.
We have a 2-year-old son. So yes, I am a mom, also a mom in the thick of parenting. I have a strained relationship with my mother-in-law. She stresses me out. And on my Mother's Day, I don't want to be stressed. I told my husband we can celebrate with her the day before, which he's fine with. My sister-in-law said that her mom is disappointed that we want to celebrate a day early and not on actual Mother's Day. Any advice, words of wisdom, hot takes, love you and everything you do. The pants in your new special are hot fire.
Thank you. Somebody understands fashion. It is that like weird transition of like, we celebrated you because you were the mother, but now I'm a mother. I guess it depends on how stressed you are in your day. Like if you're the mom staying home, taking care of the kid and you want a day off, I could understand not wanting to spend it half celebrating someone else. Will it cost you a little bit, but calm everything if you're like, great, we'll come by for breakfast. Are they asking you to prepare anything? Or are they asking you to merely just be there and she does everything else? But if she stresses you out, I think you're well within your rights to like divvy up that holiday. I mean, there's going to be more mothers in your family the older you all get. It's good to draw a line. And that's nice that you're going to do something the day before. And she still has the daughter. What she really cares about is seeing the grandbaby and seeing her son.
I have a real problem with the fact that they are willing. They're like, we're going to celebrate you. We're going to come over and we're going to celebrate you being a great mom. It's like, doesn't matter if it's not on the day where I get to be the only queen and you're not. That pisses me off. Like,
yeah, I can see why you don't like her. But also, again, this falls under, where's your husband?
He's like, right. I mean, it sounds like it's fine. And sister-in-law is just bitching. And, you know.
What's the sister-in-law saying?
Well, so the sister-in-law is the one who said, mom's actually disappointed. But the husband said, great, let's do it the day before. And the sister-in-law was like, mom wants to do it the day of. Okay, too bad.
Tell you what, mom can pick up the phone. And then your husband can say to the mom, you know, I really wanted to take my wife, Kelsey Ballerini. I don't know where I got that. Out for a mom day and a spa and a thing or whatever. Like I really wanted to treat her to this and we wanted to just kind of have a mellow day. It should not be on you on Mother's Day to stand up for what you want. And I don't appreciate the daughter interim thing. Either the mom isn't this big of a pill and the sister's making drama, or the mom is a big pill, in which case she needs to do her own bidding and not send her daughter, her henchman daughter.
The sister can celebrate her on Mother's Day.
I'm sorry. That's what I was going to say. Or the mom is like kind of docile and the sister standing up for her, in which case trample all over that mom.
Yeah, we want a weak-willed mother-in-law.
I just like, people get so obsessed with doing the thing on the day. We've had it in our own family where, and all of my in-laws are wonderful people, but everybody wants Christmas Eve. And so we had to start doing like, okay, you get Christmas Day, you get Christmas Eve. And the truth is, like, it's not about the day. Is your birthday party any less special if you have it the weekend you're available? Is Christmas, is being with your family any less meaningful if you do it the next day? Once you get to it, the answer is no, but this is about control. And this is about her having it the way that she wants to. And she did for a very long time. And your husband's got to do the standing up and you've just got to go along with it and be the princess that you are.
Yeah.
Let him go down on you.
You've only had like 2 Mother's Days and she's had so many.
And she can still have them. They just, or okay, we'll stop by for breakfast and then I'm going to go get a full body massage and then have those little fish that eat the calluses off my toes.
I want to do that.
It's weird.
It just seems weird, but.
It's weird too if you eat the fish after they ate all your skin.
Ew, that's somehow the most disgusting thing I've ever heard. Now,
double protein. I'm eating me. This Christmas, I'm eating me.
Why Christmas? Why besmirch the holidays?
It's funnier.
Okay, we're going to now do like a really serious question.
Okay, you're the producer.
That's how I like the tone to go. I want us to bounce back and forth. Let's fit it in there. Dear Iliza and Emily, thank you for making such a great podcast. I look forward to listening to each episode to hear the jokes that reference the title. Every episode makes me giggle and provides a needed distraction while I drive to work as a prevention specialist for a domestic violence, sexual assault nonprofit organization.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a big job.
I appreciate the healthy and caring relationship advice that you provide for people who are held in unhealthy and abusive relationships. I need to remain anonymous. Content warning, as this question mentions suicide. On to the question. I, 27 female, am married to a loving farmer, 27 male. Through my job, I hear about some really scum of the earth perpetrators who are mostly men, which makes me doubly appreciate the good men I have in my life. My dad, older brother, and husband, to name a few. I often worry about the men that were taught men don't cry or don't be a pussy, as men are more likely to complete suicide. Like they learned this was the only way to cope with their feelings or mental health struggles. Like the only two feelings they are allowed to express to others are anger and happiness. The good men in my life don't like to talk about their emotions or admit they might be struggling. Heck, my husband went to the doctor with severe chest pain, and after ruling out all other possibilities, was diagnosed with anxiety. They put him on an anti-anxiety, which has helped immensely. He seems to have a longer fuse, sleeps better, and hasn't had chest pain since. However, he wants to lower his dose because he feels like the meds have made him gain weight. My brother takes prescription strength antacids to combat stomach ulcers, which I wouldn't have known about if my mom hadn't told me. All these men in my life detest therapy. I've tried to pick up on my husband's and my dad's and my brother's tells for when they're struggling, but I still don't know how to bring up the subject with them. When I have in the past, the conversation is short-lived with a quick change in subject. Most recently, I made a point to dig a little deeper when my husband seemed angry, but when doing so, he seemed to get really annoyed. My question is, how can I help the good men in my life with their mental health and expressing their emotions? Thank you in advance. And then she says, insert name, Clara, ? Which that's a good alias. And then well, I'm not going to say the last part because we're going to see if you say it in your answer. And then I'll tell you what she can't wait to hear you say.
Does it write a letter?
No.
Oh. I mean, this sounds like a question for a true mental health care professional. And I'm like a little annoyed that Emily read this because that's so tough because I don't have men in my life who are exactly like that. So I can't imagine. And I don't mean like, I can't imagine that. Like it's hard for me to fathom having that because I would speak to them the way that I would speak to my husband, who's like big on therapy and very open and all that stuff. And so basically what you're saying is like, I'm worried for your health and I want you to be able to talk. And it's not going to be as simple as, look, I got you 5 BetterHelp sessions and get on in there. I do wonder if expressing yourself, because all you can do is express yourself to them. And I do wonder if writing a really well-worded letter or taking one, each of them on a walk. And you can say, you don't have to talk. I just want you to listen. Some people don't know that the option is out there. And I mean, I can tell you from my own therapy, I've always been the one that's like, there's no way anyone's going to understand this. And of course, there's someone out there that would understand that. And you just want to give them an outlet because you don't want them to get sick and you love them. And I think what you can do is come from a place of, I just love you so much. And this is very real. Maybe you can throw in some statistics. And if you don't want to hear me, fine. But I would love for you to find a healthier way, especially your husband. And by the way, your husband's right. I'm sure his self-esteem is tied to his weight. And if it's making him gain weight and he doesn't feel good about that, there are ways to deal with your anxiety that don't involve medication. And maybe it is you guys take a walk together every day. Maybe you could do a couples therapy thing, not with the goal of like fixing your marriage, but with like giving him a place to talk. And then maybe you bow out of a few of those.
There are other medications, et cetera. But I think it's important and interesting that you called out like these small signs. So like the brother just has straight up stomach ulcers, probably from stress and anxiety that he's not expressing. The husband's been diagnosed with anxiety. Like nobody's talking about these things. I think laying it out the way that you did in this letter I think you want to be really careful. I think men will bristle. I think anyone will bristle at like, I think you're going to complete suicide. I think you don't go to that yet, even though that is kind of the underlying fear. But just saying like you see people all day, every day who cannot express their emotions. You are so lucky to have 3 wonderful men in your life and you want them to know that you are there for them. Mm.
Yeah. And they'll be like, you're a woman. What do you know? Here's what you should do. If they love you the way you love them, I would use the fact that you're a sensitive woman who sees this type of stuff every day. And I would ask all 3 of them to sit down with you.
As a group?
Yep. Because I wonder if it will be, I just wonder, this is just a tactic. It's just a thought. I wonder if it'd be less contentious, if you did get emotional, because no one's going to get mad at you. And if you're just like, I just love the 3 of you so much.
It's like a reverse intervention.
Kind of. And I just see this happening and I just wanted to sit down. the odds of all three of them getting up and storming off, I just wonder if there might be, I for some reason feel like that would work. I don't know why.
Even if it's like, guys, you know what? I deal with men all day who I would love to be able to tell them how
I can't.
You operate. Right. I can't. And also, do you all have anything that you wish you were asked? Because I will start asking the men at my job those that, you know what I mean? Like how can I show up for you?
And maybe that's a private thing. I guess I only thought the group thing because there's something very vulnerable and tender about a woman who is smaller than these three men standing there and saying, like, I just care about you so much. Like, I just wonder if, like, they might band together to be like, okay, we hear you. We appreciate it. Like, they almost want to take care of you in that minute, but you're reverse psychologing them into them taking care of themselves. I just wonder. And I do like Emily's idea about, is there anything I could ask? Yeah. Is there anything that you wish were different? They'll be like, yeah, too many fucking libs getting too much of what they want. DEI, what about DE Dan? What about me?
Who's DE Dan?
All right.
I think I cut you off from saying what she wanted you to say, which was, she said, P.S. I can't wait to hear Iliza say, that's it, after she answers. And I think you were just about to say it and I cut you off.
That's it.
So I'm sorry, Clara.
That's it with Iliza and Emily.
I know. Do we need to change the name of the show?
That's it. So here's something I was thinking about recently, right? We all wear headphones, but for the most part, people tend to use one of two kinds. Either the big cans that go over your head and they make your ears sweaty, or the brand that rhymes with rare bods, right? The truth is, we deserve headphones as versatile as we are. Meet JLab. Their headphones come in so many different colors, and they have different headphones for every type of activity you might be doing, because headphones aren't one size fits all. For travel, you could do the Epic Lux ANC over-ear headphones, super comfortable and sleek looking with the longest active noise canceling playtime at 60 plus hours, right? That's enough for a connecting flight and then some. For walks or working out or physical activity, there's Epic Sport ANC 3. These are a secure fit. They're not going to go popping out when you're jumping around, and a long battery life. That's 68 hours plus. Hopefully you're not working out that long. And for those of you with tiny ears, for the smallest fit ever, check out J-Buds Mini. They fit on your keychain and they're smaller than a coin. JLab has so many versions of headphones for all the different versions of, well, you. Look for the blue box at retailers everywhere or shop jlab.com and use code Iliza for 15% off your order today. You know, I can honestly tell you, as a modern woman, we spend a lot of times limiting ourselves. A lot of times focusing on what's the healthiest thing or what's the quickest thing I can eat that will have the right amount of calories, but not too much of this or that. Every once in a while, you just want to be comforted. You just want to feel cozy. I mean, with the world the way that it is, we all deserve something flavorful and warming. Well, enter Half-Baked Harvest Quick and Cozy. It's the latest New York Times best-selling cookbook from Tegan Gerard. It's a beautiful cookbook. It's fun to look at, and it's filled with over 120 recipes for delicious, warming comfort foods. And this book makes a perfect Mother's Day gift. That's right. Get quick and cozy with your mom. All with a more is more focus on flavor, but not ingredients. You'll find recipes for maple bacon pancakes with bourbon maple syrup, garlic butter steak bites with bang bang sauce, and sheet pan mac and cheese with all the crispy edges. If you or anyone in your life ever needed a belly full of comfort and a plate bursting with fresh flavors, and you wanted it all right now, Half-Baked Harvest Quick and Cozy is for you. Available wherever books are sold.
All right, let's keep talking about how to talk to men. This email is named Husband Communication. Hi, all. I'm going to dive right in. My husband and I keep having the same argument. We have two girls, ages 2 and 3. Our 3-year-old is in half-day preschool. My husband is a lawyer and works remotely. His job is pretty high stress. He'll start work around 8 a.m. when our nanny arrives, pause around 5:36 to spend an hour or so with the kids, then often goes back to work and will wrap up anywhere between 10 p.m. and 1 a.m.
Oh, my God.
I'm a freelancer in a creative space. Right now, I'm not as busy. I am handling more of the kid and housework. I start my day around 6:30 or 7 when the kids wake up. I handle everything in the morning, diaper changes, packing lunch, dishes, feeding the dog, making breakfast.
Husband's feeding the job. That's what we do all day is we feed that job.
The coal mines, picking out clothes for the kids, brushing teeth, restock anything that's out, groceries, laundry, meal prepping, cleaning the apartment. You get the idea. My husband will walk the dog and throw out the trash that I prep and put by the door for him. Sometimes he'll get a kid dressed, but I've picked the clothes out. He can't figure out what they should wear. He has to consult me. I have a full-time nanny, which is very helpful, but she's young and she doesn't do everything for the kids. No laundry or meal prepping, for example. After she leaves at 5 p.m., I'm making dinner for the kids, cleaning up. Then my husband and I read them books and do bedtime together. My 3-year-old also doesn't nap at school, but needs it. So she's melting down and struggling because she's overtired. And I'm the preferred parent for my 2-year-old, so I can't even stand in the kitchen and make dinner without her. She screams to be held, so I rely on TV, which I hate and feel guilty about. My problem. On the weekends, I want my husband and I to truly split everything with the kids. I basically am looking for a break. I want him to make breakfast or give him a bath or change a diaper. The other week, our nanny was out for a few days, so I did baths 3 days in a row, but who's counting? And said to him, do you mind doing a bath tonight since I did the past few nights? He got mad at me and said he's been working. It's not like he was doing nothing or getting a break.
Oh my God.
I later apologized and said I should have been more honest and instead said, I'm really tired. Can you do the bath? He didn't like that either. He said I should say, hey, there is X and Y to do. How can we handle and divide as a team? Barf, which is okay in theory, but my point is, even if I said that, I want him to give a bath. Why can't I ask for what I want? He feels like when I ask him to help with the kids, I'm barking orders at him. Sometimes I'll ask him to change a diaper, get one of the kids dressed. I'm not sure if this matters, but I struggle with anxiety. He has ADHD, so he truly has no sense of time and can't focus.
Yeah, he can. He's a lawyer. He definitely has sense of time because he has billable hours and he sure as shit can focus because that's what lawyers do. So I'm so tired of these low grade learning differences. Like, I'm dyslexic. You can be a person. ADHD as a fucking lawyer. Give me a break.
Or in this weird situation where I'm freelancing, but also taking care of our home, but I also have full-time help. So I feel like I can't complain or be tired. And he's working a really stressful job. Another issue I have is when he's present, a lot of the time he's on his phone or staring into space, ruminating about something, or he's laying down on the couch or in the bedroom. I am extremely irritated when he lays down. Sorry, I sound insane.
No, you don't.
No, because that just shows me he doesn't feel the need to get up and down like I am with the kids. It looks to me like he's relaxing while I have to jump up constantly. Love you all. Thank you for being a light for so many of us on Wednesdays. I don't like this lawyer.
I have a name?
Well, let's see. The message got clipped. Is there a little secret name at the end? No, it's just nobody.
Susan, listen. Your husband doesn't respect or have the capacity to understand the sheer amount of work that being a stay-at-home mom is. I have 2 nannies, and it is still very, very hard because those kids are going to come in when the nannies are gone. They still need things when you're there. Then you feel bad. Then you're on the weekend. It's still hard. It doesn't matter. First of all, you need either a new nanny or to change the hours. This nanny needs to do more. And it sounds like you have the financial means to pay for it. I don't know why she's not doing meal prep. Does that mean she's not feeding them lunch? Does that mean she's not packing their lunch for the next day? And I don't know why she's not doing their laundry. That is a huge part of it. It should be, you are the nanny and I need you to do whatever I need you to do throughout the day. You want a team player nanny. I'm sorry. I think about these like cleaning people that I had who were lovely, but they like wouldn't do laundry. And I'm like, okay, but that's what I need. I need you to do it.
I do wonder if, because she mentions that the nanny's young, it's like, I wonder if she's paying not that much to somebody to just watch the kids and maybe she needs more experienced
maybe you need to figure out a way to make the person who's helping you actually help you. And even if it is full-time, even if it is full help, like both of my nannies are incredible. They do so much. And I still am like, my mind is boggled at the amount of stuff that I still can't get done because I actually also am working full time. As for your husband needs to be taken down a peg. And I almost never say that. He is thinking because he has a quote unquote real job that does not require as many hours as he's billing for.
What is he do? Why is he 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. after working like a 10-hour day? What is he not good at? Is it because of his ADHD? He's not getting it done on time?
Maybe. Or you're like, you're a top. If you're that good of a lawyer that you work that much, then you can afford more help. But there's no way he's working that entire time. He's taking a break. He might be closing his eyes. He might read an article. He might check his Instagram. All things that you don't get a chance to do. And the fact that he doesn't like the way that you're asking him, that means you're burnt out. You might be barking at him. And that is not the way to get what you want. Or you simply asked it and he's thinking, why can't she do it? She doesn't work. You guys need to have a serious sit down. And by the way, like, I understand you being angry that he's laying down because you don't get to do it. Ugh. And what's going to happen when you do get to go back to work and you do have a project?
I want to know, like, what is there an time limit on how long he's working 40 hours a day and spending 1 hour with his family? Like, that can't be it into That's eternity. What's the conversation there?
By the way, is so tough. And Noah and I have had this conversation with him where I'm like, you're just on your phone. And I am too. So I'm not like, what's wrong with you piece of shit? But like, we are distracted by our phones. It is very hard. And you won't see how much you're on your phone until your daughter starts pretending her hand is a phone, as mine is. And then you feel really bad. And on the weekends, my parents went through this where my dad was on the road all week. And then he would come home and he'd be like to my mom, you rest. I'll take the kids to a movie. And she's like, no, I want to do the fun thing.
Yeah.
I don't want to take a nap. And on the weekend, you do want to rest. You both want to rest. Maybe that's when you should have the nanny is the weekend. So you can do things.
Get a weekend nanny.
You need to reassess that nanny and you need to have a serious come to Jesus with your husband in a very calm way. I am your wife. I love you. You love me. I'm your partner, but you are treating me like I don't deserve a break. And I'm sorry, you need me to address you. And you do actually need to look at the way you speak to him because you're probably at your wit's end. And you're like, can you just change a diaper? Nobody. And he also probably worked all day and is tired.
That pisses me off, though, him being like, why can't you ask how we can divide and conquer? How about you decide how we can divide and conquer?
Also, you're like, I did divide, and I'm asking you to conquer this. This is what I am doing. But he is a child, and he feels entitled. He also doesn't think that your job is real, and he also doesn't think that what you're doing is real. So he's already starting from a place of disrespect. So let's give him the respect that he's asked for, and now do what I fucking said. So, but I'm saying I would look at the way you're asking because if he is sensitive enough that the way in which you're asking for a thing you desperately need is his reason for not doing it, you're kind of starting from behind anyway. But there has to be a serious discussion because you're not feeling valued, which means you're not feeling loved, which means you're not feeling attracted to him. That should be his number one concern.
Yeah.
I don't like your husband.
No, I don't either. I don't like most of these women's husbands.
I mean, you don't like husbands.
I like some husbands. I have at least one friend that has a great husband. He's cool.
It's me.
Oh, I have two.
Yay.
Because I like Noah. All right, it's time for Cobs.
It's a talk with a cob. You're doing it right every day. You just take a bite, top of the cob.
Starting with bottom.
My bottom is the parking structure on the Universal lot. I had a producer session today. A producer session is when you skip the regular audition and you are asked to write for the producers. You go right to the producers. So it was a very big deal. It is for a pilot that is so funny. And off the record, the part had already been offered to someone. So I was actually reading in case this person could not do it. And I was like, you know what? Less pressure. Let's do it.
Yeah, meet some people.
The parking structure at the NBC Universal lot is like its own special ring of hell. And all the spots that you might want to take are reserved up until like the 5th floor. And it's like the Bermuda Triangle and it's disorienting. And you come out and you're on top of this building that doesn't look like a parking structure. And then you can't remember where you came back in. I had to walk back 3 or 4 times in front of my car before I realized where it was. And you're in heels. It's just, I don't know any studio where I'm like, I love the parking situation.
No.
And I'd done it enough that I knew it was going to be awful, so I got there early. But like, just leaving an audition when you always feel that no matter how well you did, it could have been better. And I'm just like skulking back to my car in uncomfortable heels that I could be. And I was like, I don't need sneakers. I know where my car is. And it's just me holding my clicker up to my jaw, trying to click, because that helps you find your car because it goes through your brain.
It goes further.
It goes further through the brain. And I went to the lobby and I find some security guy. I go, how do I get to the thing? He goes, come on, I'll show you. Aww. And I go, and I actually I fucking hate this building. And he goes, I've lost a whole lunch break to trying to figure out how to get out.
Oh,
I know.
Oh,
fuck you, parking structure at Universal.
My bottom is that Facebook for like 5 days now, 5 or 6 times a day, tries to get me to watch a video of Viola Davis from The Woman King, which was a movie that I really liked, but came out like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And they just keep serving it to me. And every time it'll be like 5 minutes ago, 17 minutes. Like it's new every time. Like my Facebook just keeps going, you gotta watch this. I'm not watching it. I like that movie a lot. I'm not watching this clip. I'm not doing what Facebook wants.
Hey, you looked at this. You looked. So you going to finish it? You finish that?
I am going to use this as an excuse to say, do you know who wrote The Woman King? Maria Bello, the bar owner from Coyote Ugly, who's wonderful, but I love that trivia. So anyway, Facebook, I'm never opening that video. Leave me alone.
It's weird that you say that. You know that movie Maxine? It's got 3 X's in it and it's got Mia Goth.
Mm-hmm.
I just saw like a bus wallpapered with it. And I was like, I thought this came out a while ago.
It did.
So either that bus is old. I was like, when is this going away? And I read for that movie.
You read for X. Did you also read for Maxine? Because X was the first one. Maxine is the third one. Yeah.
Got it. I got it. That makes more sense. I was like, these movies have been around forever. Got it.
X is much older, but Maxine is at least a year old.
It's old enough and there's enough content out there that I'm like, are we still wrapping buses with this? Maybe it came out on Blu-ray.
I think they just they were between wraps on the bus. Yeah.
I can't keep up. Between that and the Marvel universe, I don't know what's going on.
It's too much.
It's too much.
All right. Our bottom, I love that it's a photo. Eliza, I don't know if you saw this on Patreon, but I'll make sure to reply to it. Bottom, wearing wide leg jeans during a torrential downpour. Now sitting at the office with wet feet.
I did see that. It's a bummer because I love a wide leg jean.
Right, but it's so related. You're like, oh, I wore my fun jean and then just soaked. Top
of the cob.
The fan one I'm doing right now because you're going to New Zealand. So top. Not sure which episode, but a while ago, Eliza mentioned this amazing smoked lavender candle she found in New Zealand.
Yes, I got it. Sorry. Yeah,
loving all things lavender. I tried to find it and it didn't ship to the US, but my sister recently was heading to New Zealand. So I asked if she'd try to find it if she had time and she did. Now I have my very own smoked lavender candle and I can confirm it is subtle and fancy. So if you need more, Eliza, now's your time to get them.
Well, I'm blanking on the company name. It's in the other room. I should go look. But I got it in the town of Littleton, which is a gorgeous, adorable town outside of Auckland. I think that feels right.
Amberjack Candle Company?
Amberjack. That's what it is. Well, if you're listening to this, Amberjack, tell me where else I can get you because I can bring home a bunch. Ship it myself.
My top is, we're recording at night. I had on my PJ top, so I just threw on a sweater so I'd be appropriate for this Zoom. So it's really hot, so I'm really excited when this ends. I'm going to go drink a really cold Martinelli's apple juice in the little orb.
Ooh. Yeah, the apple orb.
Yeah.
It's an apple, Emily.
But it doesn't have any.
At the top, doesn't it have like little glass leaves, kind of?
Oh, I need to look. This could be fun. I'll see.
Go check now. Go check. I'll wait. No, don't.
I can't. I'm not wearing pants.
My top is like, it's just blurred out for some reason. I'm like, did someone blur her tushy? My, I'm like, is her butt a different color than the rest of her body?
It's even paler.
Well, my top, okay, I've got 2 tops.
Yeah, you said you had 2. You could do 2.
I'm just going to do the one.
Okay, write the other one down.
No, I hadn't slept much these last few days, and there's just been a lot and my husband's out of town. So it's just been taking care of Sierra and doing a lot and, still doing sets at night. And I was taking care of her on the road and I did not get that sleep on the plane like I had planned because she was very awake. And trying to spend time with Ethan. And obviously anyone who's listening to this, just being a mom who works, compounded with, we have like a skyrocket in crime here in LA and there's a lot of break-ins. Particularly in my neighborhood. So I had to attend a community safety meeting where we all decided to hire private armed security. But you go home to a house where it's just you and your kids and the nanny. And you start to get nervous about that. So I had just anxiety, anxious sleep, plus I have tinnitus, so I couldn't sleep. So I was operating as of last night on about 5 cumulative hours of sleep for the last 4 days. And I had been dead on my feet, like zero, like It's just struggling through things, and you're afraid to go to bed during the day because you don't want to not be able to sleep at night, and just waking up every few hours. And when I can't sleep, then I have to pee. And it's just been a true personal hell. And last night I dug into my bag and I found an Ambien, and I took that Ambien at 8:30 at night. And I sent some weird text messages, and then it was fine. I went to bed, and I did that knowing Sierra would wake me up early. And I was like, even if she wakes me up at like 6, I'll still get 9 rock hard hours.
Yeah.
And I did. And I did.
Yeah.
And I did it.
I'm glad it was an Ambien.
I never take sleep aids. And I was just like, I need this. I need to be awake for this. Audition, by the way, that I went over before I went to bed, and I was like having trouble reading and saying words. And when I woke up, it was basically fully memorized.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. I hope I get the part so I can do the monologue for you.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah.
The downside is she does have a Southern accent, and I ran it so many times that it's kind of been baked into everything that I've said today.
I know.
If you go back and listen to this episode, you'll hear like a little bit of an accent because the character stays with me. What is
All
it?
right, Daniel Day-Lewis.
I don't break character till they say cut on the DVD. What's or Robert Downey Jr. from Tropic Thunder?
Oh, so they wrap the commentary, something like
Love
that.
it.
It's a
I love
great
it.
film.
If you're listening to this, it means I'm off to see you soon. Australia, we'll see you in Sydney, Brisbane, Melbourne, not in that order. And then I'm heading to you, Aotearoa, New Zealand, in Auckland. Keep your questions coming. I like these ones. I'll see you on the Patreon. Send me DMs if you are verified and you have a dope coffee shop and you want me to come interview you for my new coffee series that I'm going to be doing in Australia, New Zealand. Yeah. In the meantime, I thought the burp was going to be louder. I'm sorry.
That was a little baby burp.
It's 7:30. I'm going to bed.